these scale shapes have in common? Well, they're all a variation of blues scales and the key of E. They're pentatonic scales. Most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with this blues scale. You're just using 5 different notes. E, G, A, B, D, and then those notes repeat. The wonderful thing about playing the blues is that you can play variations of this scale, this pentatonic blues scale, in 4 different shapes, 4 different other ways of playing it, at least. I'm just going to go over 4 different ways. And the first way is going to be starting on a D. Now, even though we're in the key of E, you don't always have to start on the E note. I'm starting 1 whole step down from E in this particular case. I'm going to show you each scale, so be sure to stick around. There's going to be 4 of them, but it's well worth it because it's going to give you a better understanding and a better way of navigating the fretboard on the guitar. So we're going to start on the 6th string, 10th fret with the 1st finger. And then we're going to use our 3rd finger on the 12th fret. Exact same thing. Finger patterning on a 5th string and the 10th and 12th fret with the 1st and 3rd fingers. Now, the only thing about all these scales, you're going to be using just your 1st and 3rd fingers or your 1st and 4th fingers. So that's how easy that is. So this one's, I'm going to start on the 6th string, and I'm going to say 1, 3, change to the 5th string, 1, 3, change to the 4th string, 1, 4, change to the 3rd string, 1, 4. So 10th and 12th frets on the 6th and 5th strings, 9th and 12th frets on the 4th and 3rd strings, and then the 2nd and 1st strings are just like the 6th and 5th. You play the 10th and 12th frets with your 1st and 3rd fingers. So you're starting on a D, this is in the key of E, and you're ending on an E in this shape. I'm also alternating my picking, playing down, up, up. Be sure to go backwards as well. And if you want it to resolve, you can go back to that E if it feels like it's leaving you hanging. All right, so that scale looks just like that, okay? Notice you're starting on a D, but it's got the 5 notes of the pentatonic. Starting on the 10th fret with your 1st finger, using your 1st and 3rd fingers. Next string, 1st and 3rd fingers. Next 2 strings, 1st and 4th, and then 1st and 3rd. Great scale, very understandable. Okay, once again, that is. Next one's going to start on a B. All right, so we're just going to go like downward. Because remember, you use a E, G, A, B, D. Those are the only notes you use for the pentatonic scale in E. So we did D, now we're going to do B. See how it's working? And here we're going to start with our 1st and 4th fingers. So both the 6th and 5th strings on the 7th and 10th frets with your 1st and 4th fingers. Then you're going to use your 1st and 3rd fingers on the 7th and 9th frets. Okay? So we have 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3. 7th fret, 10th fret on the 6th string and the 5th string, 7th and 10th fret. 4th string, 7th and 9th fret. 3rd string, 7th and 9th fret with the 1st and 3rd fingers. Now we're going to play 8th and 10th frets on the 2nd strings with the 1st and 3rd fingers. And then I'm just play a 1, 4 fingering on the 7th and 10th frets, just like on the 6th and 5th strings. So that's so many different possibilities, but we'll get into that a little later. That scale is going to look like this, okay? Starting on your 7th fret with the first finger. Okay? Alrighty. Next one, we're going to start on A on the 6th string. Okay? All of these scales start on the 6th string, so you're covering the 6th right through the 1st string. And they're all E blues scales, E pentatonic scales. Just 5 different notes, once again. So this one is 5th and 7th frets on the 5th and 7th frets on the 6th and 5th strings with your 1st and 3rd fingers. Actually, the first 3 notes, 3 strings of this scale, the 6th, 5th, and 4th, 5th, 7th, 5th and 7th frets with your 1st and 3rd fingers. Now on the 3rd string, you're going to move your 1st finger on the 4th fret, 4th finger's on the 7th fret. This one adjusts a little bit more than the previous 2. I'm on the 2nd string, 5th and 8th frets with my 1st and 4th fingers. And you're going to, if you start the 6th string, however you start it in this particular shape, this pattern scale, you're starting on the 6th string, 5th and 7th frets, well, you're going to finish also on the 5th and 7th frets on the 1st string. So the 6th string and 1st strings are the same. Here we go again. 1, 3, 5th and 7th frets. 1, 3, 5th and 7th frets on the 6th and 5th strings. 1, 3 again, okay? 5th and 7th frets. Now we're moving to the 4th string, 4th and 7th frets. 2nd string, 5th and 8th frets. Okay, that one is there. So, you see it right there. All right. Once again, I wrote the notes on top so you can see how it works. In the pentatonic scale in E, the blues scale in E. All right, the last one, it's an open scale. You got to know the open scale as well. Open scale is just this closed, but it looks different. So what I did is I start with the 6th string open. I play the 3rd fret and the 5th frets with my 1st and 3rd fingers. On the 5th string, I use my 1st finger for the 2nd fret, 4th finger for the 5th fret. Exact same thing on the 4th string, 2nd and 5th frets, 1st and 4th fingers, and then 2nd and 4th frets on the 3rd string, the 1st and 3rd fingers. Use your 1st and 3rd fingers as well for both the 2nd and 1st strings and the 3rd and 5th frets. You got 4 different shapes that you can go to. And that's just great. If you're playing anything like... All right, I'm going to go to the first one. Okay, I'm going to go to the second one now. I'll start on the B. It works. I'm going to start on the third one when you're starting on A. I'm just playing the 6th and 5th and 4th strings. Now I'm going to go just right up to the 2nd string, 5th and 8th frets. Okay, see how that's working? Here's the open. There's endless possibilities. Get to know these scales. Know these ways of playing it, because you can transpose, and then you're going to be very knowledgeable, and you're going to be able to navigate the guitar neck so easily. You know, this is what the pros do. It's just that simple. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Keep playing and have fun.